Happy Valentine's Day, family and friends. Um, Obviously, it's Valentine's Day, and it's been a while since I've done a video, so I wanted to give an update on where things stand with me. I am actually in clinic right now. Got some fluids hooked up, and in a few minutes, my nurses will be coming in and giving me some potassium. And so just know that's probably going to happen throughout the video. But I wanted to provide an update because I know a few friends have reached out and have wondered what's going on with me. So the last video I did, I was about halfway through, almost halfway through. I had completed 5 cycles of chemo, and I talked to you about some of the different side effects so that unfortunately, if you ever have to experience this, you would kind of know what to expect. And since then, I have not done a video because I can tell you each cycle got a little bit harder, and I felt a little bit more sick and just didn't feel up to doing a video after any cycle really, and didn't really have anything new to share besides that all the side effects that I was already experiencing were just getting a little bit more intense each time. So it's been a few months, but we're now into February, and 2 weeks ago I completed cycle 10. And for those that don't remember, 12 was the number my doctor was trying to get me to. So 12 was the magic number to get to, but I always knew if I at least made it to 8, then hopefully I've received most of the benefits that I would need from chemo. So in my mind, I needed to definitely get to 8, but I wanted to get to 12. I'm going to share though that thankfully I'm not going to go to 12. I am actually done with chemo as of right now. I still have a PET scan to do in about 6 weeks that hopefully will confirm that I am cancer free, and if it does, then I will be able to say I'm definitely done with chemo. But for now, I am done because I've just spent 8 days in the hospital being extremely, extremely sick after round 10. So that's what we're going to talk about for a few minutes. I'm going to try to not keep this too long, but I do know that some people wanted an update. So a couple weeks ago, after round 10, I became really, really sick. And by that, I just mean severe abdominal pains, severe abdominal cramping, not being able to eat. It eventually progressed to where I really couldn't drink. And I ended up on Super Bowl Sunday at the hospital. And I love my football, so you know I'm pretty sick if I'm willing to go to the hospital on Super Bowl Sunday. But anyway, so I was very, very ill at that point. When we got to the hospital, they began to check me for a blockage in my colon because of the symptoms I was having and the being unable to eat and keep things down. So they started those tests. They also started running, obviously my blood work, and my potassium was dangerously low. So they knew right away they were admitting me, which we didn't even take a bag because we just thought I was going to go get some fluids and feel better and go back home. No clue I was about to be admitted. So for the next several days, it was kind of scary. Wasn't a lot of fun. It was I was really, really sick. They were trying to figure out what all was going on with me and why I was having, the pain and difficulties I was having. And what we finally concluded was my bowels, my intestines, had pretty much become paralyzed from all the chemo I had gone through. So none of my nutrients that I was taking in were being absorbed, which was problematic with the potassium. And then because my nutrients weren't being absorbed and my large colon wasn't working, then everything was just going straight through me. So I wasn't absorbing anything and basically couldn't stay out of the bathroom. It eventually got to the point where we quit counting, but we got up to like 18 times a day of me in the bathroom. So that kind of gives you an idea of just how rampant it was. And this was with me having no food on my system. I could have an ice chip and then I would have to go to the bathroom. So it was very uncomfortable and very, problematic. So let's see, probably 5 or 6 days into being in the hospital, they had to put a NG tube, which is a nasal gastric tube. So a tube up my nose, down my throat. If you've never experienced that, be grateful and thankful. I hope to never experience it again, at least not be awake if I have to experience it, because that was not a fun experience. But the best part of it was 12 hours or 24 hours later, when I woke up the next day, I actually felt better. They pumped everything off my stomach because there was still contents in my stomach that weren't being digested, weren't being absorbed, and were just continuing to make me feel sick. So after they got all of that out, I started feeling so much better, and actually remember waking up in the hospital thinking, okay, I feel like a real person again. I feel like me, because for a few days there, I was just completely out of it. Scared my family half to death. So, so I started feeling better, and then the big thing was we couldn't keep my potassium regulated because of not being able to retain the nutrients. So I was on potassium 24/7 the whole time I was in the hospital, but the numbers would just constantly dip back down because of the intestines not working properly. So a few more days later, I finally get back to clear liquids, and then from clear liquids I asked if I could start some solids because I wanted to go home. I was at day 8, almost day 9, and I've never been in the hospital that long, and you can't sleep in the hospital. I slept a maximum at a time of 3 hours, so I was exhausted just from being there and not getting rest, and I wanted to go home and sleep in my own bed. So I asked the doctor, what did I need to do to be able to get out of there? And he basically told me my potassium had to hit a certain number. So I was ordering bananas, I was ordering potatoes, I was ordering what I could order to try to get my potassium up, and thought, even if I'm not absorbing it, maybe I'll absorb just enough to be able to go. So fortunately, Monday, today's Friday, Valentine's Day, so just this past Monday, I got my numbers up high enough that late that evening that they would release me under the condition that I would come to clinic each day. So I've actually been here in my Richardson clinic Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now again today on Friday. And I've been getting fluids and potassium every day, and they've been checking it to try to keep my potassium up, because those of you who don't know, when your potassium dips too low, it can cause heart arrhythmias. So the whole time I was in the hospital, they were monitoring my heart, and obviously they're trying to prevent me from having a heart attack, which is good because don't really want that happening either. So right now the way it's going is I'm having to come to clinic each day and get 6 hours worth of infusions. Take 6 hours to get all the potassium that I need, and then because my body's still not absorbing all of it, I just have to come and keep going again and again, so every day. And tomorrow I'll go down to downtown Dallas to the clinic down there so I can get it. So Sunday will be interesting because I won't have any on Sunday, and then I'll come back on Monday and we'll see just how low it drops again. So the good thing is this is the first week I've actually had a shower every day, and I can honestly tell you that it's been a while since I've had a shower every day, except for the weeks I worked. The weeks I worked, I made sure I had a shower every day. But weeks I wasn't working, it was just impossible. I just was too weak to actually even bathe every day. And this week, I actually have been able to take care of myself with that. And then today, I was able to do a little hair, do a little makeup, so I wasn't quite so scary, because I can tell you, doing a video without it would be pretty scary for some of you to see. And it scares me what I look like right now. So anyways, that's where we are. My nurse doesn't come in, so I didn't get to give her a shout out, but I have a nurse here, Lisa, that I absolutely love, 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 love. She's amazing. She was even worried about me when I was in the hospital, calling down to the hospital, telling the nurses, oh, is Lisa coming in? Come on, Lisa, hurry, hurry, I'm about done.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Lisa, come in and say hello. Lisa's coming to do the potassium. Say hi, Lisa, come get on camera.
Hi.
Lisa's the one I just told you how much I love, so she's about to hook me up with potassium. So that's the update. Come on through, Lisa. Come on.
Sorry.
No, you're good. She's going to hook me up with my potassium for the next 6 hours, and thankfully I will not have to have any more chemo, and we just got to get my potassium to get regulated, get my bowels to start working again like they're supposed to, and then get my PET scan in about 6 weeks, and hopefully the next video I get to give you is me ringing the bells. They've got bells here and I am ready to ring them, but we got a few more steps to get to before I can do that. So thanks for watching, thanks for praying for me and sending me the good thoughts and good vibes, and if you ever do have to go through this and you're in the Metroplex, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, you'll have to call me and talk to me because you want to come here, because my Lisa and several of her co-workers are absolutely the best. So love, love, love them. All right, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Love you. Bye.